Hello everybody, my name is Jack Bilby. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of New South Wales, and today I'm going to be talking about a piece of my PhD research, which is how do bandicoots respond to heat waves in burnt habitat. Firstly, I'd just like to acknowledge the Bangala people on whose land my fieldwork is conducted, and also the Ghana people on whose land I'm on today. So extreme heat events are increasing in duration, frequency, and intensity, which is quite alarming for ecosystems across Australia. So the arid zone in particular, which is already subjugated to high temperatures, is of particular risk as these areas are projected to have the greatest increase in heatwave intensity. And yet we know very little about how arid zone species actually respond when temperatures get really high. So my study species for this project is the Shark Bay bandicoot. So this is Australia's smallest bandicoot species, and it's one that has a similar story to many. So they've been pushed to the brink of extinction by cats and foxes and have been reintroduced to many areas in their former range. But we also suspect that this species is at particular threat due to extreme heat events, due to their small size. They only get up to around 250 grams, which means they heat up very quickly. And also the fact that they nest on the surface. So you can see there in that second photo, we have a bandicoot nest comprised of sticks, leaves, and other little bits of debris. And generally these are positioned under shrubs or under the canopy cover, but what happens in burnt areas when those things get completely wiped out? So that's the main goal of this research. So to track the bandicoots, we put tail transmitters on them. So these enable us to put VHF transmitters, which mean that we can actually track the animal to its daytime shelter site, see exactly where it's sitting without having to disturb it. And then using GPS transmitters as well, we're able to see how far the animal's moving at night, what habitats it's using, and do that all remotely. So you can imagine that a bandicoot in an unburnt area will have plenty of canopy cover, plenty of material to build a sturdy nest, and this will help just mitigate some of the worst of the ambient heat. But once a fire's gone through, you have substantial reduction in that canopy cover, and so you have much higher surface temperatures due to that increased solar radiation exposure, and we suspect this will drive increases in nest temperatures as well. What this might lead to is decreases in the activity window that bandicoots can actually forage during. So you might find they're only able to forage during the coolest part of the night after they've actually cooled down from the hot day, and you might therefore find decreases in fitness and survival. So my study site is Secret Rocks Mallee Refuge on the Eyre Peninsula. The reason for this is the fire history of this property and the fact that bandicoots have been reintroduced there. So a substantial amount of the habitat that was occupied by bandicoots was burnt in the 2019 Black Summer bushfires. As you can see by that dark grey outline there, it covered a substantial area of the property. And there was also a small controlled burn back in 2013. But despite substantial changes to the vegetation structure of these burnt areas, there are still bandicoots utilising them. So that kind of brings about the question, how are they surviving and what are they doing when the temperature gets excessively high? So I'll share a bit of preliminary data from last summer. We'll start with looking at this landscape here, the area highlighted by orange with a thermal drone. So looking at this, you can straight away see the lighter red areas and less purple areas where the burns have occurred. So if I just outline them quickly, you can see that inside the area with the thick black line, the 2019 wildfires, there's very little canopy cover shown by the darker and cooler purpley blue areas. But you can also see that in the 2013 bushfires, 2013 prescribed burn, I should say, there's still reduced vegetation through there, causing higher surface temperatures. And we can see when we look at bandicoot nests within the unburnt and burnt areas that this same trend follows. So you see much higher canopy indicated by the solid colours in the unburnt compared to the burnt areas. Now we've also trialled putting temperature loggers, eye buttons, into different nest types, but we were quite limited last summer by both being quite a cool summer and limited by the amount of data loggers that we were able to actually obtain. So we haven't been able to detect any notable differences there. You can see quite a few gaps in that research still. Thankfully, the grant money that we've received from the Australian Wildlife Society will go towards ensuring that we have enough data loggers for the hot summer that we're forecasted to have ahead. Just like to say thank you all for listening, and thank you again to the Australian Wildlife Society for supporting this project through both the Student Research Grant and the Clive Williams Memorial Scholarship. And a big thank you for letting me share this research with everyone tonight. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me via social media or email. Thank you.